and welcome to Broken Entertainment. So, I've been gone for a while, just because there's been a lot going on, and I haven't been able to get a chance to actually record a video. But I'm going to try to get back to the once-a-week format. So, I was on Twitter and I saw Chuck Dixon post about this comic Kickstarter, which is funded and will be going out in 5 days. Or, well, it'll be finished in 5 days. I don't know when it's going out. The thing is, I saw somebody under the comment mention him using AI. And I'm like, oh, I really hope that's not true. Because there's a lot of people who will argue for AI saying, I don't have money, I don't have the connections, I'm not a good enough artist myself. And, oh, well, this allows people to create things that don't have the resources that they would otherwise need, etc., which is, of course, the whole point of Kickstarter in the first place, right? Is to fund the ability to pay your artists and your writers and so on for comics. Something that a lot of people seem to have forgotten by suggesting that it's really there to have a finished comic and then you fund it. It's the other way around. A lot of the bigger names in indie comics are able to not do that, which is great for the people who are paying for it because they get the comic sooner. So I went to Kickstarter, and sure enough, it's true. And you can actually see signs of it really before you get to the mentions. So if you look at this picture here, all right, you have an almost Teutonic cross here. Look carefully at this style of helmet and at the cape. And then we come down to here. Completely different helmet, completely different cross, because it's now the Crusader cross. And then you come down to the next panel that shows the same character. The helmet has changed, the cross has changed again. We go from this belt going this way to the belt being folded over this way. And then you come over here, and again the helmet has changed a little bit, and again the cross is now completely different because it has become this Teutonic cross on a completely different style of cloak here, and it's also painted onto the armor. So in one sample, the guy's designs changed 3 times. And you come down here and it's changed again. And you come down here and it's changed again. So you can tell this is AI. And then you come down here, and it's changed again. This is a completely different visor. You go up again to the first image. This is a slit visor going all the way across with studs across the top of it. You come down here, the studs are gone. The visor no longer, or the slit visor no longer goes all the way across. You come down here, there's even less detail. Of course, that's from a distance. You can argue that. But now all of a sudden, there's this protrusion coming up on the top of the helmet. Then you come down here. Looks like the helmet's gone more or less back to what it was in the beginning, except again this protrusion on the top. And then you come down here and it's a Viking helmet. This is very frustrating. And I think it's just there's no excuse for it. Because this is a guy with every connection in the world doing this. He knows famous artists, comic book artists. He could probably get them cheaper than a lot of us could. And yet he goes to AI. And he certainly has the money. He's funded many comics. He gets paid by the Rippaverse. He gets royalties from DC. He's got the money available to fund an artist. And then he goes to AI. And my problem with this, aside from my general dislike of AI, and aside from the fact that he has no excuse, when a creator does this, who is a writer, I have no reason to believe your writing isn't AI. Because if you have every connection in the world and you still use AI for your art and are not willing to fund a artist, why would I believe you didn't just cash it in on the... you take every shortcut you can possibly take, and you want me to believe you didn't do the same thing with your writing. So we'll come back here and we'll look at what he actually says. So I'm not going to go through every sample image because we already saw how many changes were up here, right? You come down here and you're going to see more changes. Look, all of a sudden his cloak is blue. It was white, now it's blue. I don't know what this is. That's a really... Okay, we're going to look at this. So this is supposed to be a cut blood vessel repairing itself. It looks like a pipe in a sewer. It doesn't look anything like a blood vessel. It looks metallic, and it still looks metallic when it comes together. This makes no sense. So you've got this character, right, who's supposed to be the same guy over centuries. And here he is with this face, and then he has a wildly different face. It makes it hard to read. Like, if you were actually reading this book, you've got this guy changing constantly, and a lot of it's minor, but not all of it. And, how are you supposed to read this stuff? And then, oh, this is painful. Look at this sword. It's bending. And I don't think I need to say anything about the hand. This is a guy with every possible connection on the planet. And then he's telling me that he has gone through and painstakingly done all this editing and stuff, and this is what I see. And you want to sell me on the book. You want to sell me on your writing. And this is what I see in the art. Well, that explains a lot. That explains why Alpha Core was so bad. Chuck Dixon wrote. Maybe he's phoning it in. Maybe he doesn't care anymore. I don't know. This tells me he doesn't care. I'm not even going to go into this mess. This hand. Alright, so I want to get back. I want to get down here to this use of AI statement. Parts of your project will use AI generated content. Since I'm the solo artist on this project, you're not an artist. I mean, neither one of these guys is an artist. If Chuck Dixon and Vincent Vladimir Shade, who director and award-winning writer. What have you done before? Fields of Valor of the Civil War, never seen it. Directed the Prohibition 3D docudrama for MBS. What have you written? Wrote, produced, and directed the epic Prohibition You've already... So this guy's written a couple of things, I guess. Chuck Dixon would be the main writer. Again, why do I believe your writing is not AI? Narrowly escaping with... This has got to be AI. This has got to be written in AI, with AI. So, revealing that he is... I'm not even going to try. He single-handedly fends off most of the attackers until he's eventually overwhelmed by a rain of arrows. That's fine. Narrowly escaping with this life, he takes shelter in a nearby chapel. There he attempts to prepare for his last stand when the floor collapses beneath him and the floor caves in around him. It's got to be AI. So you wrote your description of your graphic novel with AI, and you did the art with AI, and you want me to believe that this is worth my time. And you can't even edit the front page. It's better after that, but unbelievable. Anyway, AI assists me in large-scale base composition. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I think what he's saying is AI is essentially doing all of the work. The large-scale base composition to me would be like penciling. So it's penciling in everything for you, and then you're going back and editing it, basically like Shad does. Then I take the finer details to the next level. That's exactly what's happening. Required for consistent storytelling and speed of delivery by doing them manually. Programs I work with to create the dynamic frames you see are Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, Canva, After. So this is AI here, Canva. What is that? Comics Life 3. Oh no. He used AI to frame... Oh my god. He's used AI to do the art, and he's also used it to do the lettering and the template structure of the comic What work did you do? Prefer Image Assist is AI Midjourney. We all know about that, which helps me with the scale of the images for speed, and because I come from a computing and filmmaking background and not a pencil drawing background. Well, pay an artist. You have the money. You both have the money. And the connections. I don't want to hear this. Spend hundreds of hours sculpting, customizing each panel, and you can't even get the cross right. Man, you tell me you spend hundreds of hours, and this cross changes 4 times in 2 pages. They're trying to sell this to Hollywood. I want you to understand that. That's the point here. They're pushing out something they think can go to Hollywood. This guy's a director. He's a filmmaker. He's trying to get his friends in Hollywood to pick this up. He's using Chuck Dixon's name and writing because this guy has written like a couple of docudramas. Doesn't make you a comic artist. So he went out and he got Chuck Dixon. And he slaps Chuck Dixon's name on it. Then he writes everything in a style to appeal to Hollywood. And I'll show you why I think that in a minute. Other than his profession. And it says, do you have consent of the owners of the works that were or will be used to produce the AI-generated portion of your projects? This is my favorite part. Yes, all the workers on this project have consented to the fact that it is an image AI-assisted project customized by human artists, and 100% of the writing is human effort. That's not what that question's asking. The question is asking, did you use something like Midjourney, which takes a ton of copyrighted images and uses it against people's will, or did you get people to say, yeah, you can use my art to inform your AI? That's what it's asking. And your answer is yes, everybody on this project has agreed that it is AI. Now, who's involved in this again? Let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Written by Chuck Dixon and co-writer and creator Vincent Shade. Creator Jean-Francois Cavalier and executive producer. It's a comic book. What? So they have no pencilers, they have no colors, and they have no letters in this comic book whatsoever. It's a writer, a guy who writes sometimes, an executive producer, and a total of 3 creators. So why do I think this guy is going to try to sell it to Hollywood? Well, aside from his background, stretch goal of $80,000. Animation. I'm going to do an animated short. That's why. Also, I think a lot of people are sensing this. This has Chuck Dixon's name on it, and 10,696 with 160 backers. This is frustrating. So many people trying so hard to get their stuff done and get published, and you have a seasoned professional comic book writer who can't even be bothered to hire a letterer, who has the resources to hire everybody he needs. This is really frustrating. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like the video, please hit the like button, ring the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time.